Hey
Hello.
guys.
I guess we'll just wait a minute until someone comes in here.
We probably threw everybody off by not doing one last week.
We didn't do one live.
Well, we're changing it to the first and third Monday of the month. But we're probably gonna move the time up because 8:00 is
Unless otherwise
really
stated.
late. By 6:00 it's already pitch black outside.
We got one person in here. Where are they from again? Where are you guys from? Put it in the comments. I'm interested in your weather, where you're at. Because we
Hey Jake.
got Jake in here. Because, yes, you.
Me.
So I'm interested in the weather where you're at because we have been flooding where we're
Hey
at.
Angela and Steven. Angelica. Nice to know that Mama Goat saved herself from the freezer. Yeah, she's doing a great job.
Doing fine. The weather's not good for them, but the rain's supposed to let up after this evening.
Yeah. I was really worried that she wasn't going to be a good mom because when I first went out there to check on them and see the babies and everything, she was not wanting to nurse. But
are you talking about Jacktown, like Oklahoma?
Oh yeah.
Are they the ones that that found us from Jones?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Rivers and Roots. Hello, how are you guys?
My phone.
You're a mess.
Yeah. They're the ones from Meeker. I felt like I should know.
That?
Oh my gosh, my mind is. I was just thinking earlier how much stuff I've forgotten.
Jake's from Mississippi.
Over the years.
Hey, John. No, Jake, we haven't sent it out. We've been so busy with. We went hunting last weekend and then we went this past weekend, and it was like all blended together because he took off Monday, so we didn't really have a time in between. But we'll try to get that done this week.
Yeah, John, we survived the flood. I had to get the Chinese backhoe out and unplug the culvert and unplug the fence, kind of dig underneath my fence so the water would drain out.
Rivers and Roots. Is that Josh?
Yeah, that's Josh.
Oh, okay.
Alaska. He's moving back to Alabama.
What? We're going to go there and go hunting. I was going to say something, but I can't because you guys have to go watch our video coming out tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll drop some hints about the video, but we're not going to talk too much about our hunting trip because it's going to be a good video.
Yeah,
it was successful.
It was.
Super successful.
And very wild. It was probably top 5 most memorable weekends of my life, I think.
Got Justin from the Oklahoma Okie in here, and he says they've had about 5 inches up there in northwest Oklahoma. We've had probably in the neighborhood of 9 inches of rain where we're at.
You didn't the range game.
I don't know where the rain gauge is.
It's in the yard. That's why I asked. It's sitting over here by the garden.
But I've been checking Mesonet, and in the last 5 days or so, we've had 9 inches total. So it's pretty crazy.
Tulsa got 4 inches of rain. Yeah, it went a little bit southeast, huh? We were supposed to get hit again pretty hard at 3. I think a tornado was forming or touched down maybe just north of the town south of us, and it crossed over the small highway. And it was supposed to be heading up right here just west of my house, but the kids and I were outside staring around, looking around. Not the smartest idea, but
Let's look for it.
Well, I want to know if there's a really like a tornado getting close. Like, do we need to go down to the neighbors or do we need to jump in the closet? People say go into a room without an outdoor wall or a window. Well, our house is only 1,400 square feet. That's kind of impossible. There's not a single room without a touching it. Well, I know we have either that teeny tiny little hall.
But what about
hallway
Monopoly?
closet.
You know what? If you take Monopoly out of the closet, the Monopoly game will fly away.
Yeah, exactly. Or I was gonna get us in the bathroom cabinet, towel cabinet thing. I figured that'd be the safest, but anyway. You're all right, Jake. I don't have a 2XL shirt.
New Horizons
a small,
Above
medium,
and
large.
Beyond. Do you know that channel?
No. So I'm gonna have to order a 2X.
Hello, New Horizons Above and Beyond.
Justin's in here. Let's see. I like successful.
And
it was a fun hunt.
And Justin just
did you like your song?
Just did a video on a muzzleloader hunt and photography session. His cousin come up from Texas and got a bunch of pictures of deer. And he said, I think he kind of already knew that maybe his target buck was down, but he alluded to it was November and anything can happen. And I would say from our experience that from our hunt that it's November and the deer are already rutting and chasing.
Beginning to.
I mean, it's not full blown crazy, but they're moving out of their fall habit and more into their rut habit.
Yeah. Yes, Jake, we like the song a lot. My mom was just talking about it last night. Rivers and Roots Outdoors. I just started following your channel. That's awesome. I'll take a large if that's the biggest one you have. Yep. Okay, that'll make it easier so I can get it sent out sooner.
So
Trey.
I'll have to check out the New Horizons.
Yeah.
Assuming they have videos.
Yeah.
Trey's in here from our Louisiana life. Trey's gonna have to get some hunt videos out. I want to see some of them.
Top ours.
I want to see some of them Louisiana swamp donkeys.
We gotta go back and watch Trey's beginning videos. He's been watching all of ours. It's embarrassing. Those are so cheesy.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
It's been a while though. We've been a channel for a while. It's kind of embarrassing.
4 years.
It's kind of embarrassing. We only have as many subscribers as we do.
Mm-hmm.
Levi was tiny when we started.
Dang, I should have put that clip of Levi. There was a video back. It was before we started YouTube. And Dakota had killed this deer with a bow. It was a really big deer. His antler, what was the only one? 6 point, I think, but he had some really tall tines.
I should have made him.
He was the biggest bodied.
I should have made him gut his.
I've ever seen
his harvest.
Yeah. But anyway, the whole video, he's like, he was 4 because Rylan was only a year old in that video, and the whole time he's like, I'm never gonna shoot a deer. I'm never killing a deer. That's disgusting. This goofy little cheesy accent.
That deer was actually one of the biggest bodied deer I've ever taken. And crazy thing was, it was really cold that evening, and Shayla and the boys were all in the truck waiting on me. And I was like, man, I ain't seen nothing. I'm gonna get out of my stand just a little bit early and slip back to the truck. And I looked down at my phone to text Shayla that I was coming out of the woods or something. And I looked up and he was standing in a clear cut along the fence line, just staring right at me.
Yeah, just a couple hundred yards away from the truck.
And he come down the hill just a little bit closer to about 40 yards and turned broadside. And I put an arrow in him and he actually fell down where I shot him. And it wasn't a spine shot. He just collapsed right there. And, by the time I walked up to him, he was expired. I've never had that reaction with a bow before, but
that was also the same year that the boys turned the lights on or something in the truck. They turned on the headlights while we were sitting there waiting on him to hunt, and ended up killing the truck battery. So that was when you were heading out to.
Wasn't there something really crazy that happened? The battery died. Somebody helped us, and didn't we end up running into those people again or I did, like a week or two later coming home from hunting, and they had no coolant in their car. The same people that helped us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was the same people that whenever the battery got killed in the truck. This is probably how far did we live from Fort Cobb? 40 minutes?
40 minutes.
So they helped us out at Fort Cobb, and then by chance, like 2 weeks later, I was hunting again, but I was by myself, and I was on my way home, and I was probably only 10 minutes from the house, and I ran into them, and they were having car trouble, and I went and got them some water for their radiator.
But okay, it was the guy that came and helped us. It was just the husband, but wasn't it just only like the wife or the?
I think it was his son
or something, and then you went back and figured out it was them. It was so weird. It was weird.
It was weird. It was crazy.
Yeah.
All by chance.
Yeah, that was a fun evening. Let's see. No deer in Louisiana. Trying to go get a nanny on Wednesday. Better get 2 of them. Hey, Juno Acres is in here. Let's see. I was going to go on Sunday, but didn't want to get stuck. Yeah, Sunday was pretty nasty. Yes, those braces. Oh my gosh. Second time in my life I had to wear braces. I'm not great at wearing my retainer, so hopefully I won't do that again. But it was actually over my jaw because I have TMJ. My jaw pops every single time that I open my mouth, and it didn't help.
Paul from Paul Case Farms in here.
Hey, Paul. There's old man Case. Good. Got some rain.
We got
poor Chris.
Too much rain, but Chris, I mean, I guess, I would take too much over not any because we were turning into a desert.
Chris Thompson with Hippie Cow Yay, she was posting on Facebook. They had like almost 1.6 million gallons of water on their place. It was flooded everywhere. She's been posting pictures.
Our places.
They're down there just southeast of McAllister.
I've got to put some terraces in or something on our place. I need to, I would take 11 inches of water if I could hold it on the place, but problem is I can't hold 11 inches of water. So what it does is it just all takes my topsoil off the place. It just, everything's gone. Mm-hmm. If you walk out there, you could see, where this topsoil's eroding and the roots and stuff are exposed in some areas on plants, and that's just not good. So, yeah. Hopefully we get some good winter grass and clover to start coming in, but that's probably all down the creek too.
No. Good thing we didn't plant that wheat. But Beth, I sent that flashlight to you guys. I don't know if you got it or it's supposed to be there soon. Dakota has not read that email, I don't believe, to reply to.
What is it?
From Neil. Did you ever read the email? He sent a big long email, and I figured you'd be the one to reply to that.
I didn't see it. About metal detecting?
I forgot. It was busy. Well, there was several things, but it's been a super busy week. This week will be way more relaxed. Let's see. We got a 90% chance of thunderstorms tomorrow. Yeah, it's going through Arkansas hard right now. Should be right there behind y'all. I feel so sluggish today. Had a headache early this morning. Now the left side of my throat's sore. I think it's from. I usually get a sore throat after we go hunting. I think I over try to be quiet in the woods, and I breathe all weird, and it ends up giving me a sore throat. I got a good stand of ryegrass after the rain, though. You can reply to that later. That's a big email. Our fescue pastures are perked up real nice. A few days out of the sun will make them even better.
Yeah, I wish I had some fescue. Speaking of fescue, I do have some, but not enough to call it a pasture. But speaking of fescue, I've always heard fescue is toxic, but only recently I've been learning about this hoof rot issue from fescue. Find it kind of interesting. I guess some cattle genetics are more resistant than others. You know, if they've been grazing it for generations, they're less likely to have issues.
John said it was like someone forgot to send the rain for 3 months and they remembered to send rain, but they sent it all once.
Yeah.
That's what the kids have been saying all day.
We get our rain. We still get 50 inches of rain a year here on the homestead. We just get it in 5 rains.
All in a week.
My Bermuda's actually perking up a little bit. It's green, but when it gets to 40 degrees here in a couple nights, that's going to stop. So very limited results from the rain as far as other grass.
Mm-hmm. You need to do that. It hurt my shoulder.
What?
Click on the comments. Hey Beth, y'all stuff shows to be there Wednesday. I think ours said Wednesday too. Maybe I have weeded all them foot problem cows out.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, when we first moved in, we had a lot of fescue till the cows killed it all. And we didn't end up with any problems. But I know my buddy, he's got a lot of cattle, and he's had a couple of cows with foot problems. He has a lot of fescue, and he's had 2 cows with foot problems, and he doesn't seem to think it's related to fescue, but I think it could be. What are you doing?
You're supposed to be clicking. I debated on not even getting on the live tonight. I feel not wonderful tonight.
His Bermuda is frost kill. Oh wait, let's jump back up here to Josh. I know it was dry in South Alabama when he was there. 21 days with no rain at the time. 21 days, that's it. In Alabama, though, it's east, big timber country. I'm sure that's a stretch, being right there by the ocean in southeast United States.
Mm-hmm.
Paul's Bermuda is frost killed. Ours took a step back, but whenever we got down to that one night, it was like 35, 36. And it definitely took a step back, but didn't ever frost it off.
Mm-hmm.
Xander's in here.
Yep.
Temple and Acres.
Hey guys.
Yeah, what do you think causes the foot rot? Do you have a lot of ponds, Justin, that your cows hang out in? I mean, do they stand in mud holes for hours on end, or you think it's just bad luck, genetics, a little bit of everything? And I don't know if you guys watch like the Hoof GP and these other hoof trimmers. Do you think that if you had the capability to trim their hooves, put the blocks, the little rubber blocks that keeps them off of it for a few days, if you had that capability, if you had like what do they call that, a crutch that picks up the leg, or a turntable, if you had the ability to do that and the know-how, do you think that, more cows could be, just treated and fixed of their hoof rot issues and not have problems for several years? I don't know. I mean, dairy cattle are different. They're standing in wet manure and water and lots and stuff all the time. So, I mean, there's difference between beef cattle.
Oops. 50 days of no rain.
Yeah, we were somewhere close to that. About right in there somewhere.
It seemed like we had one shower.
We had that 1.5 inches of rain well over a month ago. I can't remember exactly when it was, but it definitely helped. It got us through like another 10, 12 days, but then we never got another rain, and it just went way downhill from there.
Mm-hmm. John, not a fan of the new dark scheduled daylight savings time. Sucks. I agree.
Yeah, John. So there's man, I think they do that the daylight savings time just to mess with us, because if you know anything about like the real calendar, there's supposed to be 13 months, 28 days. Uh, and then I think time change is just another one of those things to keep you all your circadian rhythms and all that just out of whack, out of synchrony with nature, with the way God intended us to be.
Mm-hmm. I think that's the other reason I'm so sluggish. That's dry for them. They average 70 inches of rain. The North Pole, we average 12 inches.
Yeah, 70 inches is quite a bit. That's like jungle rain.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what we are, 50 inches, 45, 50 inches,
Fell
somewhere in
asleep
there.
a few minutes ago, been up since 2 yesterday.
We
Go
don't,
to sleep.
but like I said earlier, we don't really get
Crazy.
less rain than we used to. We just get it in larger quantities. We've always had those, once every few years you get a 6 or 8 inch rain, but it seems like we get more 4 to 6 inch rains than we used to.
Mm-hmm.
We used to get, lots
More
of
sporadic.
1 inch, inch and a half, 2 inch rains.
Hey, Bob.
And we actually moved from western Oklahoma, where it's a little bit drier, thinking, man, let's buy land in eastern Oklahoma. That way, Shayla almost shut the live off.
Sorry.
Thinking that, we'll have less drought problems if we just move east of I-35. And boy, that wasn't true at all. We've had more drought since we lived here than we did in western Oklahoma. Because we would always just sit there and watch them get rain over there.
Yeah.
And if we just lived in eastern Oklahoma.
I think that this side's still getting more rain. It's just that for some reason it's split. It literally just splits right around our house.
Oh, no. I mean,
all day today it split. I watched it.
A lot of eastern Oklahoma ain't had rain.
Well, I know, but mud hole seemed to cause it. I have a bull I need to catch from our doctor, and he just got it since the rain started. Ugh.
Yeah.
Glad we haven't had that yet.
Yeah, I would say my buddy does have some ponds, and his cows are like water buffalo. They just hang out in them all day.
Hey, guns and bacon.
But we had Atlas, our Dexter bull. He lived in the pond all summer long. He never left the pond. True. I mean, 5-6 hours a day he'd sit in there. He never had a foot problem one.
She's not sure if that's true or not, but I've heard that myself before.
Yeah, it's something about a toxin.
Our cows on pasture almost never need trimming. Those long toes that they get all gimpy go for a ride. They probably is hereditary, so don't keep them or their heifers.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not 3 gallon, it's half a gallon. You gotta drink plenty of water. Anytime I literally
He only drinks water in the evening, and he
whenever I was in the military, they'd say, any problem you had, they'd be like, drink water. And I really think there's a lot of truth to that. If your stomach's not feeling well, just drink a bunch of water. If you got a headache, drink a bunch of water. About 75% of little inconvenient stuff can be resolved with just being hydrated.
Yep, we brought the drought with us.
Yeah, this year still wasn't as bad as 2 years ago.
Yeah,
We didn't.
It was really bad.
2 years ago, the rain cut off June. What was it about? June 14th.
What?
When the rain cut off 2 years ago.
Oh yeah.
It literally cut off in the first 2 weeks of June, and we didn't get but maybe 3 dustings. I mean, when I say dustings, it would sprinkle long enough to just make the little pebbles on top of the sand, and then it would quit
Yeah.
all the way until mid to late October.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got, just like this year, we got flooded
Yep.
in October, and then
We got flooded like this
during
4 years ago too.
during rifle season, it came in and flooded again, like 4 to 6 inches. So we got flooded in mid October, and then come rifle season, we got flooded 2 years ago.
I guess this is Jimmy. I guess I didn't know that was your name. Yeah, he mixes lime. We usually put a little lemon, or he likes lime in his
It's
water.
just straight lemon juice with ice water is all it is.
We're on well water, and it has beneficial bacteria in it, and sometimes it doesn't always taste the best. Well, Jimmy stuff storm coming tomorrow. Not every year we'll have 13 months. It depends on the barley harvest.
Well, I don't know exactly what that means, but there's a lot of debate on it. Like there's still like when you do the 13-month calendar, there's still like one leap year or whatever that you have to have.
Well, they're on a lot on the same page with us, so she's probably right.
I mean, I just don't know what she means by barley harvest.
I'll have to look into that.
But I know that the 13-month, 28 days isn't perfect. So she's probably referring to
it's
how
based on the moon.
I'm sure she's basically referring to how it stays on a perfect track.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I'd be willing to hear that out.
I think now we're on normal time. I prefer the daylight savings time. Me too. I hate this time. It's miserable. I absolutely despise it. Oops. What am I clicking on? Is that Oklahoma water, Jimmy?
Might have some salt water and acid from oil well treating in it.
We were too, Paul.
That might be why it's got that weird color.
Here in Western Canada, we've been in drought conditions for years. Man. Well, are they chemtrailing up there? Or whatever it's supposed to be called.
Lines in the sky.
Lines in the sky. I mean, surely they tried to ban it.
I'll tell you what. Some of our problem in Western Oklahoma, Northwest Oklahoma is, I hate to say it, but it is kind of a climate change issue. And by that, what I mean is, if you look at what I've never been able to wrap my mind around this. You take the panhandle of Oklahoma, and it's basically high plains desert. But what grows there naturally in Kansas and and lots of these other places, but what naturally grows there really, really well is prairie grass. Big blue stem Indian grass, sage grasses, prairie grass, just mixed prairie grasses grow really well there. And they actually keep the climate moderated as far as like your rains, your soil temperatures, your heat indexes. The prairie grass, you will have a lower heat index than you will with Bermuda, cropland, bare soils, all that stuff. So it's never made sense to me that, I know they didn't have to clear a bunch of trees to do row cropping there, but it would make more sense to clear the trees in eastern Oklahoma and row crop eastern Oklahoma and grow prairie grass and cattle in western Oklahoma. But you see, it's like kind of reversed. A lot of people have tons of cattle in eastern Oklahoma, and you got row crops. It's weird to me. It don't make sense. I know 120 years ago, it would have made more sense to say, hey, this is wide open grassland. We could easily just run a plow through this, turn the grass over, and plant wheat in it. But with modern equipment, man, I think you could do really well in eastern Oklahoma row cropping. But that's just my opinion.
Jake said he got a sticker from Susan. It's awesome. If you guys want to send Jake a sticker, just email him in his About Me page, and you can send him a sticker or email him for his address. There's Rowdy and Angel. They're doing good. Hopefully you guys have too.
Your cup over here keeps
I
knocking.
told you to give it to me.
What are you doing with it?
I got water and I got my hot tea. My throat hurts. My whole neck is stiff. Oh, did you guys get a deer this year? Yeah, Levi shot one with his muzzleloader last
I
weekend.
thought you weren't going to give too many details about the hunt.
I just said Levi shot a deer last weekend for muzzleloader. You listening? And we may or may not have got a deer this past weekend, but you're gonna have to watch our video.
Well, we got deer. I mean, we'll give you that much. We got deer, but you got to watch the video tomorrow. What time's the video coming out? What time are you going to schedule it for?
I don't know. What time do people watch videos?
Our Saturday videos do good 3 days after we post them, so I don't know that it really matters.
It doesn't. I was watching video. It doesn't. My tea's getting cooler. Made it hot. Time change is so dumb. Now it's even darker earlier. Yeah. By 5:30 yesterday, he went out to go hunt a little bit for probably an hour or so, and he's like heading back at 5:30. I'm like, what the heck are you doing? You have 2 more hours. And he's like, time change. Oh, that's right. I hate it. It's so annoying.
You know, who thought that daylight at the beginning of the day is more important than daylight at the end of the day, for one? I mean, I would rather sleep in the morning and catch up on my work at 7 o'clock in the evening than I would wake up at 5:36 to catch
in
the
the
day.
summer, I'm usually outside till 9:45, 10 o'clock, working on stuff, and
I don't mind working.
we don't usually eat dinner till like 10 o'clock at night.
I'd rather work later than earlier.
No, I hate this. 5:30, Then I'm bored, and then I bake, and I hate it.
Shayla's already got into her cookie making phase.
No, that was my one cookie.
No.
The first of the month of the year is based on barley and Jew in Jerusalem. Passover is 14 days of the first month. Okay, the first month of the year is based on the barley in Jerusalem. I think I did read something about that actually. Now that's kind of ringing a bell. Yeah.
Whatever it is, I know that this calendar that we got now is
they
jacked
were always
up.
going by
or
the
is it
crops.
31 days, or is it 30, or is it 28, or is it 29? It just don't make sense. I remember them trying to, whenever I was a kid, trying to teach the days of the month with a jingle, like, oh, it's this many days on these months. I can't remember how it went exactly, but I was like, this is stupid. Why would you have 30 and 31 days and 28? Who has a month of 28 when everything else is 30 or 31? You know, it was so frustrating. I just knew as a kid it was stupid.
What are we talking about? Well, I don't know when your comment came in, so it depends. Hey, Duncan Family Farm. I think that is Greg. I think that's his name. If the barley was not ready to be harvested, a 13th month was added to the year, so the harvest would be ready for the next month for the wave sheaf offering. So look at that, huh? My Wild Home. Hey guys, how are you?
Yeah, I don't know.
Off grid.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, biblically, God wasn't pleased with offerings, and you know, he said God basically said it in not so many words. He was tired of it. He was wore out with their offerings. They meant nothing. So I don't know if the calendar should be based off of offerings and sacrifices and stuff. I don't know. I mean, God created the cosmos, so I do think that the sun and the moon play into it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's interesting. I just know that our calendar currently is way wrong.
Yeah. You work till dark 32. Yep. Why would you go in the house when there's so much stuff to be done? PSV Aussie. Howdy, how are you guys? Who cares which way? Can't they just pick one and leave the time alone? They almost changed it here like 2 years ago, which would have been really confusing because I got family in Texas and Missouri, and that would have really thrown me off. So
They just
that
need to
didn't
do
mess
it. They
with
just
it.
need to do it across the board. They need to fix it all.
If they would just do it across the board, that'd be fine. I wasn't super excited about that just because it was really going to throw things off with my family being, north and south of us. But government paid landowners to clear the trees off the land over here in the 1960s, and after people farmed it for a few years, they then paid them to put it in the CRP grass program.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I just think, well, and then part of it is you got the Ulagala, however you pronounce that, water aquifer. So, I mean, I know that irrigation is really readily available up there. That's another reason they grow up there. But it just seems to me, if you were going off God's natural cycle, like how the rains fall and the patterns fall, Eastern Oklahoma gets more corn rains, more soybean rains, things like that. And you consistently see them growing that stuff up there in like, especially in the panhandle in western Kansas and stuff, and you're like, it's like, man, if it wasn't for that water aquifer, this stuff could not exist here, So I don't know. I just think that prairie grass is absolutely beautiful and perfect, and if it was all in prairie grass, you could have so many cattle out there because the roots go, 6-7 foot deep, so they can always have moisture.
Hey, Red Dirt Rooster Road. Finally said it. We are doing great. Nice to see you. They're cousins. Odyssey and Odyssey. I didn't know that. That was because of their attitude. Yeah, they had some bad attitudes.
Who?
The Israelites.
Yeah.
Sacrificial system was nailed to the cross, no longer needed because he
Well,
made that sacrifice for us.
I feel like America is a lot like the Israelites, everybody's afraid to challenge the norm because they're like, well, at least, it's like when Moses was leading them through the forest, and they're like, well, why'd you take us out of Egypt? We had, we had food there. At least we had somewhere to sleep, and at least we had food. And it's like, if you ask somebody to challenge the norms in this country, step outside your comfort zone. Let's challenge the norms and let's make things better. Whoa! This is now this is the greatest country in the world. At least we have food and a place to sleep, but it could be better. And people are afraid. We're all stuck in this small-minded. We don't let God control anything. We think, well, I'll fix it. I'll go vote our way out of this. We'll fix this. We'll fix this. And I feel like we're a bunch of Israelites.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't gonna vote our way out of anything. I can tell you that.
We are in Oklahoma. I'm pretty sure. I think I follow them on Facebook more than YouTube, but I'm pretty sure you guys have Nick that was care flighted out a couple months ago, right? I think that's who I'm thinking of. I didn't ever figure out what happened, but I heard everybody was asking for prayer because he had gotten care flighted out. Offerings are valid. Christ fulfilled them. Otherwise, he would not have been able to redeem us.
Yeah, but let me find where it talks about it. I'll find it.
The calendar we use here in the U.S. and many other countries is not the same calendar that Israel uses. Yeah, the real calendars man, we try it once we find the truth in things. We try to follow that as much as possible. The calendar is one thing that always stumps me because being that we do live in the United States, it's something that we can't just really ignore it. It's very frustrating, especially with the holidays. We just did a video on the holidays. We don't celebrate any of the holidays, so that is one thing that drives me nuts about the U.S. That we don't have our own freedom. Well, I mean, we do have freedom to choose what we do and do not celebrate, but at the same time, like, they kind of force companies to give you those days off only instead of just, an equivalent number of holiday days, 14 days or something for the year. They have voted to leave at daylight saving times in Louisiana, but something federal.
Yeah, here it is. Jeremiah 6:20. What do I care about incense from Sheba or sweet calamus from a distant land? Your burnt offerings are not acceptable. Your sacrifices do not please me. I know that Bible verse is talking about doing it all in vain, but Jesus, and it was the final sacrifice. So I don't think that that you can be saved. There is no greater salvation to me, from what I understand from the Bible. From I sacrificed the Passover lamb or whatever. To me, it would be an insult to Christ to think that you can come up with a animal sacrifice and redeem your sins with that, because Christ was the redemption for sin.
Trey said they voted for daylight savings time in Louisiana, but something the federal keeping it from going into effect.
I thought there was a state or two that changed that.
I thought there was too. They don't want our circadian rhythm on track. They got to keep us messed up. The calendar is not right. It is purposefully off. Yeah, it is. Correct. Without irrigation, there wouldn't be very many crops out here. We are supposed to average 32 inches a year, less and less the further west we go. Are you voting tomorrow?
I don't know. I'm still on the fence about voting, Bob, because
let's see how many people drop off now.
Clearly, Trump is a better option than Kamala as far as like my fleshly desires. Do I want to have a good economy? Do I want grocery prices to stay low? Do I want tax-free overtime? Do I want gas prices to be good? Clearly, Trump is a better option. But there are some major differences between Trump and I, and some of those are biblically based, pretty much all of them. But it's kind of got to a point to where I'm like, quit thinking that I have any control and say in what happens in this country. God's hand is on absolutely everything. So if Kamala Harris gets in, don't be so small-minded to think that God's not in control of that as well. So, and in Oklahoma, I don't even have to vote. I already know Trump's going to get the vote. So that I have peace of mind in. There is some other measures on the ballot that I'll probably go vote in. But I'm just to the point where our country is so far off track. I don't want to be a part of the system anymore. I'm a disabled veteran. I did my time active duty because at one time I fervently believed that we were the greatest country in the world. And if you look around, I'll put it this way: I'm so conservative that Trump is not to my standard. That's where I would put it. We've been making compromises in conservatism for years and years and years and years now. That all of a sudden Trump is the gold standard for conservatism, and I just don't believe that. I don't believe that Trump is truly the gold standard in conservatism. I think that I do like hearing Trump say, fake news, this, that, the other, because for years before that, I was saying fake news, and nobody believed me that the news was fake. And I've been saying that for 10 years before Trump came along. So that really had me fired up for years. I was a big time Trump guy. Um, but there's just certain things that I can't do uh, according to Trump. Like, if I say Israel is those who follow Christ, I could be considered a anti-Semite. And Trump has openly said that capital punishment should be brought back for anti-Semitism. Well, just from Trump's beliefs and many people that support Trump, I could be burned at the stake as a heretic by his following, just based on what I believe Israel is and isn't. And I'm not okay with that. I don't cheerlead for the death and destruction of Gazans, and I don't cheerlead for the death and destruction of Israel, the present day country. I don't believe in all these wars and stuff. I believe in loving your enemy and defending yourself with lethal force if necessary. I do believe in lethal force. Yes, I'm not a hippie, but there's just a great divide between me and the direction of this country, and I just don't know that God has any. God has not convicted me to be a part of the system anymore. I've lost the desire. If that makes any sense, I hope that doesn't offend anybody that I say that, but I've lost the desire to play in their system, and I feel like to gain control of this country back, people should quit playing their game. If we really have any say so and control, it's not in their voting system. We've seen what happened last time. We've seen the outcome of the people who really control this country choosing who they would like to be the pretendant.
And God,
Notice I didn't say president, the pretendant. Joe Biden was the pretendant. He was the pretend person masquerading as a president, and we've seen the outcome. The whole country voted one way, and we woke up to something totally different and obscure from what the whole country knew was going to happen. We all knew who was going to win that race. I don't care if you were what would be called a liberal or conservative, you knew who was going to win that race. Some people will still deny it. Oh, you're just a Trump tard, and you just believe that he won because that's what you wanted. You live in no. We know who won the race, but we got something totally different. And at that point, I started to realize, hey, dummy, you're not in control of this. Step back. But
God's in control in the end, and even if we all convinced each person to go vote,
I mean, what's the next step?
Could happen.
What's the next step? Say 99% of America goes out and votes, and we wake up and Kamala's in office. Then what do we do next? Do we go vote again in 4 years? Is it going to fix it in 4 years? So I know that got a little deep we probably lost about 5 or 6 people, but I just don't know. It's like, I don't know. I'm just emphasizing spending time with my family and stuff. I don't participate in politics, even a fraction of what I used to. I used to always be in the loop on everything. Now Shayla, she knows more than me, and she asked me. I don't know. I'd have to get on Telegram and look it up.
Not because I research it. I just see stuff on Facebook.
But I used to could name everything going on,
Yeah.
And if I really covered the truth and the real people that cause these problems, this whole channel would be just wiped off the map. They would destroy me. The oligarchs that control the media, the social medias, and everything would come after me and remove this channel.
Paul said, "We wearing camo or what? Never been in Civil War before." We watched The Patriot last night because I don't know. I think my brother or dad
That's
said
a
that
good
a couple
movie.
weeks ago.
But
we
see,
watched it last night.
And I haven't watched it since my heart and my perception on things has changed over the last few years. I haven't watched that movie in a few years, and I actually see the movie in a different view now. I see Mel Gibson differently now watching that movie because he didn't want to go to war with the British because he knew all the agony and the anguish and the pain and suffering it was going to bring everybody, not just the people who were willing to go fight the war, but what the war was going to bring to everybody. And I didn't really see that view of Mel Gibson the first 10 times I watched that.
Yeah.
And Mel Gibson's a cool guy in real life. I mean,
it.
I like the guy. He's been kind of banned from Hollywood for not liking a certain group of people too.
Ryan was taken off Ryan, not Nick, was taken off our island in a helicopter, 8 broken bones, but almost as good as new now. Wow.
Island.
Golly. Yeah, they have their own island and they're off grid.
How you get an island?
I watched their channel a little bit a long time ago, and then I think I found them on Facebook, and then I haven't really kept up a whole lot, to be honest. But I don't keep a whole lot with most channels. I try to watch every shorts at least, but there's so much.
How big is the island?
Ryan fell from a ladder. Ooh. My dad used to put up signs, and he fell 20 foot off of a boom or a man lift, whatever you want to call it. I don't think he actually broke anything, but he hurt his back pretty bad. Holidays. Yep.
Justin said
tomorrow.
Yeah, I did look into it, John. Arizona and Hawaii don't do daylight, or I think part of Arizona doesn't. Something weird.
That would be even weirder.
Justin said he's going to go vote 1,000 times if they'll allow it. Hey, you could. There's a plan.
You could.
Now that's a plan for change. You could just go move to like Michigan or Washington. You know, if we had a bunch of Justin DeHaas out there that would move to one of those states and just vote 1,000 times like they do, you know, just turn in 1,000 mail-in ballots or something, just stuff the box until they can't get any more votes in it.
That's funny he said that, because I've actually thought Dakota, he's got a gender fluent name, so I thought about going in there and just telling them, going in as
That's
me,
a felony.
and then later on saying that's not a felony.
In Oklahoma, I'm pretty sure voter fraud's a felony. We're a real state.
Excuse me, but I am Mrs. Dakota DeRee, so technically.
Some states,
right?
They wouldn't care, but
Trump again and again and again. Well, at least you're not voting for Kamala.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I'll tell you what.
Go vote. They want
99% of what Trump is about and for is awesome. I mean, I can't argue with most of what.
That's
Trump.
Josh and Alina, or Josh, right? Josh Eldridge. Yeah, that's
so,
what I was considering going in.
So we have a local measure. Josh just brought it up. They have a local measure for property tax, whatever they call that.
Yes, for EMS.
Yeah, yes for EMS, emergency whatever services like ambulances. And the thing is they're a private for-profit business, and they want to raise our taxes to give them millions of dollars to a business. Oh, I'm sorry, but if you're going to raise my taxes another $200-$300, $500 a year, and I have to get in an ambulance,
It was forever too, wasn't it?
Yeah, for no indiscriminate amount of time. If I have to get in an ambulance, and then I still got to pay $10,000. and you're making a profit. That just don't make sense to me, man. And I'm sure there's politicians that are in bed with that. That's one reason I'm just so tired of all this crap, man.
You didn't get him all fired up. It's cool. We gotta speak our opinion.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I want people to know what I'm about because I don't want people following me that are going to hate me. Like I don't hate people that are going to vote for Trump. I don't even hate people that are going to vote for Kamala. I might think they're silly. I might think they're a little goofy. I probably wouldn't. I'll put it this way: I wouldn't if I knew you as a Kamala voter. I probably wouldn't subscribe to your channel because just right off the bat, I already know that we're not going to be compatible. We're just not going to mesh. And I've been there with Trump, and like I said, I agree with 99% of his policy. So I don't, I'm not mad at people for wanting to vote and stuff.
You did say you're going to vote because you liked the way he talked crap the other day.
Oh, well, I don't know what I was watching, but man, Trump was tearing someone a new one, and I just thought it was hilarious. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go vote basically just to watch people cry. But it's not gonna matter. Oklahoma's gonna get Trump's vote, so I don't even have to.
Man, you think?
I just need to go vote on that EMS thing and stuff.
It was close last time, and
we didn't even have a county that voted liberal for president.
No, but the numbers were really close. Yeah, we did. We had 2 counties.
No, not for president.
Oklahoma City and Tulsa.
Governor. That was for governor.
I don't know, but I've seen more Kamala signs and stickers than I ever did Biden, so that makes me a little nervous. But it's in God's hands, so it doesn't even matter.
Wouldn't that be crazy? I would actually probably feel bad if I didn't vote though, and Kamala Harris won Oklahoma or something. That'd be
I know,
insane.
that's what I said. Maybe.
It's impossible though. She couldn't win Oklahoma.
That would be crazy.
Especially
since so many people are going to vote.
People would show up in mass and riot. I mean, Washington D.C. would have about 3 million Oklahomans if Kamala Harris won Oklahoma.
Hey, Crystal. Let's see. They also chose who to put on the ballot this year too. Kamala didn't get a single vote.
Yeah. So that's the other thing that makes me so mad. Exactly, Justin hit the nail on the head. That's one thing that makes me so mad is I'm like, they keep calling us this democracy or even a constitutional republic, but you can't just say this is who we're going to run as our Democrat, vote on these Democratic nominees, and then once that's been voted upon, you can't just switch and put a new candidate in there. You have to have some sort of a primary race because the Democrats got whoever they told them they get, and it's.
Now you're getting fired up. I actually ordered thermal blankets so you can't see us in one. I think we all need that. Talk Toby right into ordering them. You ordered thermal blankets so you can't see us.
What is she talking about? Like thermal drones, so that you just have a big thermal signature. You talking about in your house because they have technology where they can see. They can actually see where people are in their house. It's weird. But I mean, what started that conversation?
I have no idea, but I'm interested in these thermal blankets. I don't participate in any politics, so I don't vote.
Oh, maybe she's just talking about Mylar blankets or actual more like warming.
Hey, Scotty. Now I have a Google Islands for sale. Justin gonna be on the news next.
Yeah, go to California and you can vote without any ID.
I was reading some people talking about Washington was all online voting. I think you can go vote in person in the big cities, but like all the smaller towns, you have to vote online. Ducking out to get ready. See y'all shortly. Y'all done got the coach started. Oh shoot, it's already 9:00. Well, let's get to the end of these comments, and that's gonna be the end of our live, so we can jump on trays. I don't know if our vote will really count, but hey, we get an I voted sticker. That's what I was thinking. I just want the sticker.
What are you clicking on?
Oh, I hovered over the bottom. I'm voting. Trey's voting for Daffy Duck.
I'm definitely going to show up and vote to not have my taxes raised.
Yeah. I'm voting for Mimu the emu from Juneau Acres. And I'm going to write that in. Along with the other 30 fans of Mimu. I'm voting right in Trey for president. Do it! Like when we have to hide in the bushes, I don't want them seeing me from the air at night. That's how serious I am about the world gun crap.
Yeah, drones are scary.
They are. I tell you what.
Drones are one of my greatest fears. It's like if we would have if there would have been a civil war 50 years ago, the Americans would have defeated the government. But now, I mean, they don't even need soldiers to fight their war. They could literally. You're telling me you don't think that our government don't have an army of AI and drones?
That's what I keep telling him and anybody else.
They
massive
literally,
southern person with
all they got to do is put a chatbot in a drone and tell it to target people and send it up in the air and load it down with armament, and it could just go mowing indiscriminately people down.
That's what I keep
but AI can also make decisions too.
Yeah.
It could look at you and go, "You look like an enemy."
I know. Everybody keeps stocking up on pew-pews, but it's not even going to matter when they come out. I mean, you can take down a few people, but they got freaking drones and aircraft. Like, we're done. People say, that's not the end of the world. They've been saying that for years and all this stuff, but aircraft was the absolute worst invention ever.
Cars and airplanes, if you think about it.
Airplanes are worse than the internet.
If you think about what... if you think about ranching, for example, what's the greatest, most pain in the butt about ranching? It's having to maintain fences and trying to stay in harmony with God's design. How do you graze a property like God's animals would have done it when you got a fence and your cows, you got to have more fences to have paddocks and intensive grazing, to graze it and then leave it and then keep your cows off of it so they don't keep grazing it. You got to have all kinds of fencing, and all of this technology we've developed has been to our own.
Yeah, but at least we can drive too. We can't just jump in an airplane and fly.
I mean, I like driving around though. I mean, I like being able to run over the Oakmobile and go hunt that, run the black pedal and hunt that.
That's why aircraft is the ultimate. That is the worst.
We're just bad humans.
Yeah, we are. Just for the record, if I vote for Kamal, Harlan and I died before 7. That's hilarious.
She can't win Oklahoma. That's impossible. And I'll tell you straight up tomorrow.
Thanks for coming in, Bob. We appreciate it.
If Kamala even wins if she wins Oklahoma and Tulsa County in Oklahoma, then I will tell you it's rigged in Oklahoma too.
Yeah. Well, you gotta be ordering them blankets. I know. I've been telling. That's what I've said. Thermal blankets. We do kind of have some. I don't know if they're
Mylar, survival blankets that just reflect your heat signature.
The heat blankets, because we have plenty of those. But if you're talking about something thicker, I might need to look into that. But I'm gonna look into it anyway. Yeah, you better keep them straight. All right, guys. We're going to hop on over to Trey's Live, and we will see you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
To check out some of our other videos.